sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Country.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to the Dodgers and Astros second game of the three-game series and their fifth meeting of the year. They have split the previous four. The two pitchers tonight, rather interesting. They both do very well here at Dodger Stadium. Clayton Kershaw does very well everywhere. He's trying to win his 14th. He's 13-5. More than that, he is 8-1 lifetime this year at Dodger Stadium, and he has won 7 straight here. For the Houston Astros, and they put up a pretty good pitcher last night in Bud Norris. Tonight, they bring out the left-hander Wandy Rodriguez. Rodriguez here at Dodger Stadium is 3-2, but more interesting, his earned run average here is 1.1. How did he pitch last time he was here? He shut the Dodgers out. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this. Don. Hyundai. Is brought to you by Hyundai. People are talking about Hyundai Uncensored. See what they're saying at mysocalhyundai.com. By Shakey's, where you can get your PCM on. Text MOJO to 99,000 to win a large PCM. By CarMax, now more than ever the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T.
And welcome back, everybody. Getting you set for some Saturday night baseball here at the stadium. It's the Astros and the Dodgers with Steve Lyons and Patrick O'Neill. And, you know, the last 3 years, Clayton Kershaw has had an ERA under 3. Only one other pitcher in baseball has accomplished that, and that's Roy Halladay. Of course, it's our Hyundai key to the game because Clayton Kershaw is that good.
Well, you know, it's funny because in today's game, when we look at pitchers' ERAs, if they're under 4, we talk about them having a good year. We haven't even come close to 3 with Clayton Kershaw. As we mentioned in the pregame show, too, I mean, he's got a 1.94 ERA here in Dodger Stadium. He knows how to pitch very well here, and it doesn't get that much worse when he goes out on the road.
And you look at this Astros lineup, and you wonder what Clayton thinks, because it really is not a major league lineup. Can you get in trouble thinking you could go out there and really shut them down?
Yeah, I think when you put the cart before the horse is when you really do get yourself in trouble. Obviously, this is a situation for Clayton Kershaw. He pitches to his strengths, and he doesn't really care who's on the other team. There's a few guys that'll notice. There's a few guys that you have to worry about if he gets in a little bit of trouble. A guy like Carlos Lee might be the only guy in the lineup that he might have to pitch around in every once in a while. But look at this lineup from Houston. They have one more home run than Matt Kemp does.
Wow, that's not good. All right, we're taking a quick break. We're coming back with Dodger baseball. We'll see you afterwards. Vince Scully has the call next on Prime Ticket.
Ticket is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Try one of our 4 new delicious plain grilled chicken burritos. For a limited time, they're only $5 each. By K-Swiss Tubes, the official shoe of muscles everywhere. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you wherever you may be. Dodger Stadium alive and well. The Dodgers ready to go after the Astros and vice versa in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Dodgers winning a tough one last night, 1-0 in 10 innings. And going into this game, if you're Don Mattingly, you got to believe it might be another tough one with Clayton Kershaw going up against Wandy Rodriguez. This will be game number 5. Brad Mills will be sending his best left-hander to the mound, so it shapes up to be a good one. Let's take a look at Brad's lineup for the Astros. Jason Bourgeois in center, Jose Altuve at second base, J.D. Martinez in left field, Carlos Lee at first base, Jimmy Paredes will be at third, Jason Michaels in right field, Clint Barmas at short, Carlos Corporon behind the plate, and Wandy Rodriguez on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, their pride and joy, 23-year-old left-hander Clayton Kershaw, going after his 14th win. He won his 5th straight with his 4th complete game of the year in San Diego. And against Houston, despite the fact he struck out 7 in 6 innings, allowed 1 run, it was a no decision as far as he was concerned, and the Dodgers eventually lost that game 4-3. In 4 career starts against the Astros, he is 1-1, and of course he is coming off a magnificent month of July where he was named National League Pitcher of the Month, going 4-1. And one other footnote on Clayton Kershaw, he leads the National League in strikeouts with 184. He is particularly effective here at Dodger Stadium. His record 8-1 here, and he's won 7 straight. And now we'll be tested by the Houston Astros. Jason Bourgeois, fleet-footed center fielder, right-hand batter, takes a breaking ball strike, and we're underway. 0-1 the count. Bourgeois hitting .313, runs exceptionally well. He has 18 infield hits. Right-hand batter swings a little late, fouls it off. 0-2 the count. The temperature exactly like last night, 70 wonderful degrees. So it's a beautiful summer's evening. A bright blue canopy overhead. Still some sunshine rattling around up in the hills. And the strike 2 pitch on the way. Bourgeois pulls it foul outside of third. We have a minute. We'll duck in a couple of scores. Tim Lincecum threw 7 shutout innings, struck out 10. Won his 11th. Brian Wilson got his 35th save. And the Giants beat the Marlins 3-0. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Bourgeois, and he hits a comeback between the legs of Kershaw. Picked up by Jamie Carroll, who throws to first in time. Now there's a play for you as Jamie Carroll handles a ball that went right through Kershaw's legs. Clayton kind of puzzled how the ball did get through. That Jamie made the play anyway. So 1 down, and the ball will now be in the hands of Jose Altuve, the little second baseman. Altuve, who is only about 5'6", he'll put a little heat on you trying to find the strike zone. Right-hand batter hitting .341. Kershaw's fastball in there for a strike. Altuve is from Maracay in Venezuela. He is 5'6". There are those who think he's 5'5", but he's quite a solid player. Checks in at 165. Strike 1 pitch pulled on the ground to shortstop. Sellers up there to throw him out. So quickly 2 out in the first inning. We can set the Dodgers with the leather, and here's the way they stack up. Tony Gwynn, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier in the outfield. Blake, Sellers, Carroll, and Rivera on the infield. And behind the plate, Big Rod Barajas handling Clayton Kershaw. Justin Sellers, who played the game last night to make his major league debut. He went 0 for 3 with the bat, but handled everything his way, and he's already gotten a chance tonight. J.D. Martinez in there. He looks at a strike, and the count 0-1 to J.D. He reveled in the excitement of coming to Dodger Stadium last night. Had 2 sisters come to see the game. Strike 1 pitch, low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. J.D. hitting .250, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Right-hand batter waiting, and the 1-1 pitch, he swings in a drive to center. Going back on the ball is Kemp to the track for one-handed just before he takes 2 strides into the wall. So J.D. Martinez sends Kemp to the wall, and down go the Astros. And at the end of half an inning, Astros nothing, Dodgers coming up. Now we'll take a look at the Dodger lineup going up against Wandy Rodriguez. Jamie Carroll at second base. Casey Blake will be at third. Then you have Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp. Juan Rivera plays first base. Rod Barajas behind the plate. Tony Gwynn in left. Justin Sellers at short. And Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound, the left-hander, Wandy Rodriguez. He's from the Dominican, 5'11", about 165 to 170. Among other things, his teammate for years was Roy Oswalt. His first pitch into Jamie Carroll for a strike. And Roy Oswalt said, pure and simple, Wandy Rodriguez has the best curveball in baseball. Well, we'll see tonight. Strike one, fastball is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Rodriguez, among other things, he's given up 16 home runs to right-hand batters, given up 10 in Houston at home. Next pitch, punch wide to first. Carlos Lee throws it behind him instead of leading him, and no way Wandy could have caught it. A bad play by the first baseman. All he had to do is throw it in front of his pitcher and let his pitcher catch up to it. Instead, it was soft toss behind him, and Wandy tried to catch it with the bare hand and couldn't do it. There are a lot of reasons why a team has lost 81 games. There are a lot of reasons why they are 30 games out of first place. That's just one of them. So Carroll is aboard on the error charge to Carlos Lee. And for Brad Mills, I'm sure he feels like he's already been through the mill. No pun intended on the name. So here now is Casey Blake with Carroll at first. Bottom of the first, no score. A bunt in the air, speared by Lee, and that'll do it for Blake. So Casey pops up the bunt, and with 1 out, Andre Ethier will be the hitter. So for Don Mattingly, a tip-off on what he thinks of Wandy Rodriguez to play a little ball with his second batter, and the hitter Andre Ethier. We told you the Giants beat the Marlins. We can tell you the D-backs are leading the Mets 6-4 in the 7th inning. Daniel Hudson trying to pick up another victory, and he's also knocked in his 13th run of the year. So here's Andre hitting .302, 10 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Rodriguez, left foot on the rubber, set at the belt, looks over at Carroll, fastball low and away, ball 1, 1-0. There are several other things to talk about Wandy Rodriguez. Base stealers are very successful against him. They've stolen 16 out of 18. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and the count 1-1. If he should get 3 runs, he is 8-3 when the Astros score that many. Hitters like to swing at his first pitch. Just a couple of things about him. He's a very consistent pitcher. Ethier fouls this one off third, back into the stand, 1-2 the count. Through his career, Wandy is 43-43 in the first half of the seasons. In the second half, he's 27-29, just a little underneath. This year, in the first half, 6-6. So far in the second half, 2-2. The 1-2 pitch is instead a throw to first. Jamie Carroll could very well try to take advantage of him. Carroll is 10 for 10 in stolen bases. So you have a very good base runner, and you have a left-hander who's been plagued by opposition base runners. Wandy set, ready, left-hander delivers, whips a fastball low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. So Ethier back out for the moment. Now Andre checks in. In last night's game, he was 0 for 2. He walked 3 times, once intentionally. On deck, Matt Kemp. 2-2 the count. The next pitch is hit on the ground to short, backhanded by Barnes to get 1. Throw to first, not in time. So the force play goes 6-4. That takes Carroll off the bases, and it allows Matt Kemp to come up. And of course, the error by Carlos Lee allows the Dodgers to have a 4-man inning, and we'll see if they can take advantage of it. Matt Kemp got that flare single to right field. The old story, it looks like a line drive in the box score. Knocked in the winning run. Matt batting .319, 26 home runs, 86 runs batted in. It was the third walk-off for Matt this year, the other 2 times home runs, and the 5th time in his young career he's walked off with the winner. Rodriguez set, delivers big curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Matt Kemp 4 for 16. That would be a .250 batting average against Wandy Rodriguez. Ethier over there at first. Andre is not the base stealer that Carroll was. Fastball is hit into left field and deep. That goes Martinez at the wall. It's gone. And just like that, the error by Carlos Lee is cashed in, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Matt Kemp comes around, having knocked in 27 home runs, 88 runs batted in, and for Wandy Rodriguez, already upset in the first inning, he's now allowed 17 home runs, and 11 of them against right-hand batters. So Matt Kemp hits it out. Carlos Lee would like to eat his glove, and the pitch now to Rivera in there for a strike, 0-1. For Matt, his last home run July 30th against Micah Owings and Arizona. Now the strike one pitch stays off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. So you can just imagine how Rodriguez feels, but also imagine how Carlos Lee feels. It should have been a 1-2-3 inning. A big curveball foul back, and 1-2 the count. For Carlos Lee, it was a rare mistake on a feed to a pitcher. I mean, they start practicing that the first day of spring training. For Lee, it was his 5th error, but it has cost his club 2 runs. 1-2 the count to Rivera. He fouls the pitch off. Rivera last night, remember, after being 0 for 3, came up in the 9th inning and tripled, only his 4th career triple into the gap in right center. And then Loney, Navarro, Gwynn, Carroll, they all failed to get the go-ahead run home. The 1-2 pitch is a slow ground ball to third. Paredes on the run, throws him out, and that's that. But the damage has been done, and the Dodgers take advantage of it. The error extended the inning. Matt Kemp hits a home run, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Home run and puts the Dodgers on the board 2-0 as we go to the 2nd inning. So Matt had the game-winning single last night and gets the Dodgers off in the right direction tonight. Meanwhile, How often in baseball do you hear the announcers say, isn't it amazing? A fella makes a great play, and sure enough, he leads off the next inning. This is the opposite. Carlos Lee, Jimmy Paredes, and then Jason Michaels in that order. Carlos with 11 home runs, 68 runs batted in, hitting .264, big right-hand batter, and Kershaw's high with his first pitch, ball one. And looking at Clayton Kershaw, Lee is 4 for 10 with a home run against him. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Breaking ball under the hands inside. Ball 2. 2-0 the count to Carlos Lee. He's had 8 RBIs in his last 6 games. And the 2-0 pitch on the way over for a strike. 2-1. Lee has been a hot hitter. 20 RBIs in his last 26 games. They shut him down pretty much last night. 2-1 pitch to Carlos Lee. Fastball fouled away off the protective railing in front of the Dodger dugout. That shook up the boys. Hiroki Kuroda had to get out of there in a hurry, along with Eugenio Velez. 2-2. Kuroda, by the way, is tomorrow afternoon's pitcher. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Carlos Lee. Great curveball for strike 3 call. No doubt about that one. Boy, I tell you, Lee looks back at Kershaw as he walks away. Here's Uncle Charlie up there, in there, and see you later. The strikeout number 1 for Clayton Kershaw. He leads the league, as you probably know. He now has 185 strikeouts, and the batter now will be Jimmy Paredes. Jimmy's a switch hitting third baseman, hitting .275. 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Hasn't been here long. Breaks his bat, hits one off the glove of Kershaw, and Carroll can't come up with it. So Paredes winds up with a broken bat single. And Paredes certainly will take it, and the batter will be Jason Michaels. So that's hit number 1 against Clayton Kershaw. A broken bat, then it went off his glove, Kershaw's, deflected to slow it down, and Carroll unable to catch up to it. So Paredes at first, and Jason Michaels, the veteran, checks in at the plate. Paredes has only been up a little while. He's 1 for 1 in stolen bases. So here's Michaels. 1 out, second inning, 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. And the first pitch to Michaels in for a strike, 0-1. Jason is out of Tampa, Florida, a 6-footer, 205-pounder. 35 years old, was originally signed by the Phillies and played with the Phillies from 02 through 05. So he had 4 years. Throw to first base, and Paredes steps back on the bag. The Kershaw with a broken bat single, now pitching out of his stretch. 2-0 Dodgers. Michaels at 35, came out of the University of Miami. And there goes Paredes. The pitch is high. The throw's on the wrong side of the bag, and Jimmy steals it. So Barajas had to hurry his throw, and it was on the shortstop side. So Paredes, who's only been up a little while, picks up his second stolen base. Though as Paredes goes in head first, in fact, checking, Paredes was not 1-0. That would be his first stolen base. So number 1. All right, Michaels waiting, no balls and 2 strikes. A look back by Kershaw, fastball in the dirt almost, swung on and missed, and then Barajas can't pick it up and falls down. So Jason Michaels fooled on a pitch in the dirt that got away as Barajas blocked it, and then as he went out to get it, Rod's legs went out from under him, and after striking at a pitch in the dirt, Michaels took off, and Rod Barajas was just unable to make a play. So it'll be strike 3 and an error charge to Barajas. And just like that, 2 on, 1 out on a broken bat single, a stolen base, and a strikeout. And here is the veteran Clint Barmas at the plate. Clint batting .249, right hand hitting shortstop. Kershaw's fastball a little high. Barmas last night had a tough night. He not only went 0 for 4, he struck out 3 of the 4 at-bats. Barmes 4 for 18. That's a .222 batting average and 1 home run against Kershaw. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Clint fouls it away. Good fastball in on the hands, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Barmes, you would guess, hit the home run against Kershaw when he played in Colorado. Just a guess. Clint got his first big league hit against the Dodgers in 2003 against Kaz Ishii. The Barmes waiting, and the 1-1 pitch off speed and popped in the air. Kershaw should be directing traffic, and now Casey Blake comes down to make the catch. The infield fly rule was called. It was just a question of whether Kershaw would get out of the way. So Barmes pops it up to Casey Blake, and Carlos Corporon will be coming up. 2 on, 2 out. Dodgers lead 2-0. The error by Carlos Lee cashed in, a 2-run home run by Matt Kemp. Corporon hitting just .194. He is a switch hitter who's done good hitting as a right-handed batter, but he hasn't had a lot of at-bats. But he's hitting about .320 from this side of the plate. He holds up on a pitch high, ball 1, 1-0. Corporon 0 for 4 last night. He had a little 4-game hitting streak down the drain. Up there now with Paredes at second, Michaels at first, 2 out, 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw back, fastball, broken bat, ground ball to Carroll, quick feed to Sellers, and that's that. So Kershaw's chopping wood out there. Strikes out 2, gives up 1 scratchy hit, and at the end of an inning and a half, 2-0 Dodgers. By Jack in the Box. Try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. Bottom of the second inning with the Dodgers leading 2-0. It'll be Rod Barajas, Tony Gwynn, and then Justin Sellers. Barajas leading off the inning against left-hander Wandy Rodriguez. First pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Barajas 0 for 2 in the pass against Wandy, hitting .223, 10 home runs, 28 runs batted in. And the next pitch to Rod is swung on and missed. He staggers across the plate. He's certainly not getting cheated up there. No balls and 2 strikes. Barajas, basically a fly ball hitter. and he swings at the next pitch, doesn't get it, and down he goes. So that's strikeout number 1, and the batter will be Tony Gwynn. You know, you can enjoy our most flexible plan ever with the home stretch pack. For $100, you can purchase 8 infield reserve vouchers. You can mix and match any way you like during the remainder of the regular season. For more information, be sure to go to Dodgers.com/homestretch or call 323-224-1365. 1 out, second inning. Dodgers lead 2-0. Here's Tony Gwynn. He looks at a pitch for a strike, and the count 0-1. Gwynn appeared last night, remember, with the bases loaded, nobody out, and struck out. Tony hitting .250, 15 runs batted in. Wandy ready and comes back with another breaking ball just off the plate. 1-1 the count. So Gwynn, the batter, on deck. Justin Sellers. Rodriguez ready in his 1-1 pitch. That's in for a strike. 1-2. Rodriguez has a lot of pitches now. He has the usual fastball, curve, and change. But when Andy Pettit was with Houston, he taught him the cutter. That next pitch is whack foul. No, just fair. Inside the chalk and down into the corner. And Gwynn is not going to stop at second. Meanwhile, Jason Michaels fell down. And Gwynn easily goes to third with a triple. Jason Michaels ran over, and on the warning track, his feet just went out from under him. And the ball was just fair by a hair and went all the way down in the corner. Michaels charging, and all of a sudden slipped. Down he went. It looked to me from up here Gwynn would have had a triple anyway. So a 1-out triple by Tony Gwynn. And that will bring up Justin Sellers with the infield halfway. Sellers, the 46th player to wear a Dodger uniform this year. Jason Michaels, the veteran, out there in right field. And let's see what they do with Sellers. Remember, Kershaw is a pretty good hitter, but there is 1 out. And the pitch off the plate, ball 1, 1-0. So Sellers looking over at Tim Wallach to see if somehow or other they might even have the squeeze on. One of the most exciting plays we can remember here at Dodger Stadium was a squeeze. Full swing foul, and the count 1-1 strike. You may or may not remember the Dodgers had a rookie by the name of R.J. Reynolds. Pedro Guerrero, the runner at third. No one knew whether Reynolds can bunt at all. Neither did Tommy Lasorda, but Tommy put the squeeze on, and sure enough, Reynolds got the bunt down. Guerrero scored, and the Dodgers beat Atlanta. The next pitch is inside to Justin, and that runs the count 2-1 strike. Last night, Sellers flied to center and twice to left, up against a crafty left-hander in Wandy Rodriguez. 2-1 strike the count. Gwynn down the line from third. All eyes on him on a 2-1 count. He is not coming, and the pitch is low, ball 3. On deck, Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers 2, Astros nothing. We're in the bottom of the second inning. An error by Carlos Lee allowed the Dodgers the extra at bat, and Matt Kemp made the most of it and hit a 2-run home run. So 3-1 now, the count to Justin Sellers. Here comes Rodriguez, and that's low, ball 4. So Justin gets aboard for the first time in his young big league career, and that'll bring up Clayton Kershaw. And you have a lot of possibilities with Kershaw. I mean, first of all, Clayton is hitting .250. He also has 5 sacrifices if you're thinking squeeze. The infield is up. Tim Wallach, a long look in to Don Mattingly. Still not quite ready. Now he passes it along to Kershaw, whose duty then, if indeed it is a squeeze, is to flash back. Okay, I've got it. So let's see. You have Sellers at first, Gwynn at third. Coming in is Paredes at third base. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Kershaw was around more to sacrifice. The runner's holding. And again, another look to Tim Wallach. Tony Gwynn looking more like Pigpen And Charlie Brown comes down the line from third. Hard to believe the game just started. 1 ball and no strikes they count. Kershaw is swinging, fouls it away, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Clayton having a very good year with the bat. He's not a Daniel Hudson. Hudson, for instance, leading the D-backs, knocked in his 13th run. The next pitch way off the plate. Gwynn can come down the line along with third baseman Jimmy Paredes. So 2-1 to count. All the while, Sellers taking his lead at first, held on by Carlos Lee. 2-0 Dodgers, trying to get some more here in the second inning. Rodriguez set, comes back, Kershaw bunts foul, and the count 2-2. It was not a squeeze. Gwynn was not coming. He was just trying to move Sellers up a notch. So with 1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, the infield now will go back into double play depth, with Paredes, however, remaining at third. So first and third, 1 out, 2-2 the count to Kershaw, who has not grounded into a double play. And sure enough, he hits one to second, back to short, over to first, and there's numero uno. So no sooner are the words out of your mouth, Clayton hits into the DP, and that's that. No runs, a wasted triple, and at the end of 2-0 Dodgers. Ticket is brought to you by Chase, with over 16,000 ATMs nationwide and more on the way. Take a step forward and chase what matters. By Chrysler. Visit us at Chrysler.com or see your local dealer today. And by Time Warner Cable. Dodgers lead the Astros 2-0 on a home run by Matt Kemp with a man aboard in the first inning. We told you that the Giants defeated the Marlins 3-0. That snapped their little 2-game losing streak. Arizona kept pace. They just defeated the Mets 6-4. Arizona has won 5 straight and continues to lead the Giants by 2. Wandy Rodriguez will lead it off. Kershaw ready and delivers, and the first pitch a little high. 1 ball and no strikes. Wandy hitting 133. That translates into a half a dozen hits. He makes contact usually. He looks at a strike, 1-1. Struck out about 25% of the time. Very good for a pitcher. 1-1. Pitches left-handed, bats right-handed, and the 1-1 fastball is swung on and missed. 1-2 to Wandy Rodriguez. Rodriguez, as a boy, dreamt that he would someday be a big leaguer, and he wanted to be an outfielder. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball hit in the air to shallow center, but it hangs enough for Matt Kemp. And just like that, one away. Say, be sure to join the Dodgers September 13th, 7:10. They face the Diamondbacks. Fans will receive a throwback fleece blanket honoring their days in Brooklyn at Ebbets Field. Compliments of Pizza Hut. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Here now, Jason Bourgeois, fleet-footed center fielder, grounded out in the first inning. Right-hand batter, Kershaw's pitch in for a strike. Last night, when Rivera drilled that into the right center, and of course Rivera being a right-handed batter, Bourgeois was shading him to left center, and yet racing towards the ball. He actually got his glove on. Strike one pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2. Bourgeois gets the glove on it, but he couldn't hold it, and Rivera had the triple. 0-2 to young Jason, a Houston boy. No balls and 2 strikes. Kershaw into the windup. Back he comes 0-2, and a breaking ball swung on and missed. Barajas has to throw to first to put him away. So Bourgeois strikes out on that big curveball, which is very tough to hit, but it's also tough to catch. The Kershaw bounces one. Bourgeois goes for it. He pays the price. That would be the 3rd strikeout. And with 2 down, Clayton going to work now on Jose Altuve. The little infielder grounded to short in the first inning. Kershaw into the windup. Clayton delivers. Fastball over his head, over Altuve's head, which is not really too high, but to Jose it certainly is. He's a youngster who apparently just stopped growing in his early teens. The 1-0 pitch on the way backs him off the plate, ball 2. Ever since, they've always second-guessed his ability on a baseball field, and he's a battler. So despite most scouts would just overlook him because of his size. 2-2 pitch on the way is high, ball 3. I don't remember how big or how little Phil Rizzuto was, but it seems to me he was maybe 5'3". I'm not sure. The 3-0 pitch on the way, and that's down the pipe. 3-1. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit. A big error for the Astros. It cost them 2 runs. Now the 3-1 pitch to Jose, and the boy from Venezuela lifts a fly ball to Matt Kemp. Matt misjudged the ball, and it's going to bounce on the track over the wall. I think he lost it in the lights. So Matt Kemp, apparently losing it, kind of gestures over to Tony Gwynn as if to say, what are you going to do? High fly ball. Matt started to his left, then put his hands up. It looked like he was looking at it, and the ball landed way beyond him and bounced over the wall. Now, as he gestures, I don't know where it is, hoping he'd spot it, and by the time he did, it is way over his head. So it's a 7:49 double for Altuve. The lights have not taken complete effect on this beautiful summer's evening. And here's J.D. Martinez, who fly deep to center in the first inning, and he takes high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. They lose him in the lights, they lose him in the sun, and it's remarkable that they catch as many as they do. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to J.D. Fastball foul back. So J.D. Martinez trying to cash in the break. Julio Daniel is his true name. Got off to a great start in his first 12 games. He had 4 home runs and 14 RBI. He is still at that level. The 1-1 pitch on the way for the boy from Hollywood, Florida, is a fastball low, ball 2. Martinez is 6'3", 195, out of a little college, Nova Southeastern University in Florida. They signed him in 2009, and here he is in the big leagues. 2-1 the count. Kershaw is set, looks back at second, comes to his hitter. Another high fly ball. Kemp looks like he sees this all the way and makes the catch. Flips the ball to Gwynn with a big grin on his face. So Martinez twice has hit the ball pretty well, but not well enough. No runs, a hit, a man left on the double, and it's still 2-0 Dodgers. To nothing. It's been a roller coaster ride for Matt Kemp. Perch hits Jamie Carroll at low, ball 1-0. Carroll reached on the error, the throwing error by Carlos Lee, and that led to the extra at bat, and Matt Kemp hit a 2-run home run. Jamie hitting .308 in the month of August, looks at a pitch for a strike, and the count 1-1. Couple of things. Number one, we were wondering about how big Phil Rizzuto was. The computer says 5'6", 150 pounds. So he would be a little lighter than Altuve. Meanwhile, Jamie Carroll bangs one into left center for a base hit. He will hold on the relay back to the infield. So then we got to thinking, who are a couple of the smaller players that play in the big league? You may remember Albie Pearson. He played with the Angels, a remarkable athlete. Albie was 5'5". Freddie Patek, another infielder, was 5'5". Jose Altuve is 5'6". We just bring it up because we bring it up with a great deal of, well, respect and admiration. I mean, these are big guys playing this game, and when you see a little fella play and play well, it's a great tribute to his heart. So Wandy Rodriguez working on Casey Blake. Big sweeping curveball inside. Ball 1-0. Blake tried to bunt in the first inning, popped it up. Sign of respect, I guess, for Wandy Rodriguez to play bunt so early in the game. Wandy hands at his sides. Blake bent at the knees and waist. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and that drops in nicely for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Casey Blake. Hitting .256, 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Earlier we were talking about Wandy Rodriguez growing up in the Dominican. He had a strong arm, swung a good bat, and at 15 he quit school. The next breaking ball is low, and he went to a baseball academy run by a well-respected baseball man over there named Luis Coronado. Well, eventually Coronado called Wandy's uncle and said, take the boy back to Santiago. Well, his uncle said, well, the boy's a big leaver. And Coronado said, no, he's not. He can't run and he can't hit for power. So then the uncle said, please teach him something. And Coronado said, well, he has a good arm. I could make him a pitcher. And make him a pitcher he did. And of course Rodriguez was furious. The pitch to Blake. Slow breaking ball for a strike. 2-2. Rodriguez said, "You mean to tell me I've spent 4 years on my hitting and now you want me to pitch? Doesn't make any sense to start over." But then he realized, I don't have a choice. Well, he was pretty unpolished. He was 19 years old, 5'11". Comebacker. Wandy has it. Goes to his shortstop. Barnes back to first. Double play. So Rodriguez leading Barmes and hung that ball right out over the bag at second base. That's a pretty play to watch. You just rely that you're on the money, and he was. Without breaking stride, Barmes was able to double up Carroll. So 1-6-3. That means 2 double plays in 2 innings, and we're in the third. 2-0 Dodgers. And the batter now is Andre Ethier, who hit into a force play in the first inning. The first pitch by Wandy Rodriguez in for a strike, and the count 0-1. To get back to Wandy, now they were going to make him a pitcher, but he was starting at 19. Strike one pitch is swung on and missed. At 19 to scouts in the Dominican, these young kids, that's pretty old. What could he do to be younger? Well, he and his uncle approached a friend of Wandy's named Eny, E-N-Y. They had grown up together. The strike 2 pitch, ground ball to the right side. Altuve is there, flips it over to Carlos Lee, and that's the inning. Anyway, we'll tell you more about Wandy and his friendship and how he eventually used the friendship's name. It's 2-0 Dodgers. Pitchers, it doesn't show the error by Carlos Lee that gave the Dodgers the opportunity to have an extra batter come up. The extra batter was Matt Kemp, and a 2-run home run resulted, and that's the difference right now. 2-0 Dodgers, and we go to the fourth. Wandy Rodriguez deep in thought. Carlos Lee at the plate, and he promptly strokes one to left field. Wing on the run, picks it off. Tony almost ran into that ball, I think. And he's saying something. I think he almost ran into it. Sometimes early in the evening, if the lights don't take complete effect, it can be a little tough. Eyes wide open. Yep. I think so. I think if he hadn't gotten that glove up, he might have taken that right in the forest. Anyway, one down. Jimmy Paredes coming up. He had the infield single. Broken bat, went off the glove of Kershaw. Carroll couldn't pick it up. So Jimmy, who had only played single A, is in the big leagues, and it's a strike. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Drops the curveball in there. 0-2. You don't see a slow curveball like that in single A. Paredes came to the Astros in the deal that sent Lance Berkman to the Yankees. Down he goes. He's 22 years old. The Yankees signed him in 2007, but he didn't play for 2 years. So he's pretty raw. 2 out. Strikeout number 4 for Clayton Kershaw. And the batter is Jason Michaels. He struck out in the second inning. Kershaw now 188, 11 in front of Cliff Lee. 0-1. When the Houston Astros sent Hunter Pence away, Michael Bourne away, there were writers in Houston who referred to it as a scorched earth policy. That's foul ball, 0-2. For Brad Mills, of course, he didn't have much of a say on what top management was going to do, though what they've done is given him several very, very young ball players. They feel they will have the ability, but it's a growing process. Tough on the manager. Brad used to be in the Dodger organization. He managed as high as Las Vegas. 0-2 to Jason Michaels. Got that curveball at the end of the bat. Still 0-2. Jordan Lyles tomorrow, and he'll go up against Hiroki Kuroda. And the Dodgers then will pack their bags and move out. They'll have a 4-game series in Milwaukee, 3 in Colorado, 3 in St. Louis. Fastball 1-2. The 4 in Milwaukee will be quite a challenge. Milwaukee's record at home is 42-15, the best in baseball. Another fastball in the dirt for Barajas. Kershaw either bouncing the curve or drilling the fastball, and Big Rod blocking each and every, but it's got to be taking its toll. 2-2 the count. All in the day's work for Rod. 2-2 the count to Jason Michaels. Curveball. So Clayton Kershaw, who's 23, working on the veteran Jason Michaels. And down he goes. So that's 5 strikeouts for Kershaw. 1, 2, 3 innings. And at the end, 3.5, 2-0 Dodgers. Inning, bad break for the Astros, good break for the Dodgers. It was just a ground ball by Jamie Carroll to Carlos Lee, but he tosses it behind his pitcher instead of a 1-2-3 inning. That allowed Matt Kemp to come up, and he hit a 2-run home run, his 27th of the year, to give him 88 RBIs, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So one little break, and it was cashed in. Lee, meanwhile, 0 for 2 at the bat, and here's Matt Kemp again. A big 1 for 1, hitting .320. And a strike. That worked away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kemp only had 4 hits against Rodriguez coming into the game. Look at that. I mean, leads in everything but Hughes Howells. Fouled away. 1-2 the count. We were talking about the background of Wandy Rodriguez a little while ago, and how he tried to figure out, how can I be younger? Well, we've had a lot of ball players coming out of the South American area who have changed their birth dates, etc., trying to get a job. So what he did, he went to his friend and said, can I pretty much use your name and your papers? And his friend said, yeah, that's okay, go to it. Well, he got a little bonus, and he gave Ennie, his pal, a bunch of money at the signing bonus. Gave some money to the teacher at the baseball academy, money to his uncle. Took just a couple of $100 for himself, and then whatever was left, he gave to his family to buy cattle. That was okay until he got bad news from his pal Ennie. Meanwhile, bad news for Matt Kemp, fooled on that pitch. 1 away. Well, Ennie finally said to him, you can't be using my name anymore. And just before the 2003 season, that's when they found out that the boy going under the name Cabrera was really Wandy Rodriguez. Well, now Wandy is such a good guy, he gives haircuts to underprivileged children in his hometown. Though Wandy the barber, not only that, he's given haircuts to Jose Valverde, Miguel Tejada, a lot of people. 0-1 the count. 0-2 to Rivera. Juan batting .329. He has 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. On deck, Rod Barajas. No balls and 2 strikes. Fastball just off the plate. That was a 93. Tell you, you took a lot of discipline to look at that pitch in that swing with 2 strikes. One reason why Rivera is hitting .329. And down he goes on another good fastball. The other one was on the outside. This one came inside, and Rivera asking the plate umpire as he walks away, did I swing at a strike? Meanwhile, let's get you thinking. Clayton Kershaw leads the National League in strikeouts. Who are the only 3 National League strikeout champions in Astros history? Well, that's pretty tough. 2 out, and here's Rod Barajas. Ball 1. Barajas struck out in the 2nd inning. Wandy has struck out 3. Drops that curveball in there. 1-1. Two nothing Dodgers. 4th inning. Check swing foul. Checked on a fastball, and the count 1-2. One thing that Wandy does, everyone recognizes the great curveball. That's another slow curve fouled away. But one of the things was a couple of years ago, Dewey Robinson, who was the Astros pitching coach, convinced him, hey, you've got a great changeup as well as a curve. And the more he mixes it up, the better he is. 1-2. Breaking ball hit to the hole. Great stop by Barmes. Trying to get Barajas and got him. Oh, what a play by Clint Barmes. Probably the only man he could have gotten would be a veteran catcher, and it was still a sensational play to go down, slide, get up, throw, and a one-hopper beats him. And at the end of 4, 2-0 Dodgers. Great play, and he leads off the inning. Here's the great play. And the one-hopper beating Barajas by an eyelash. This close. Ball just in, and the foot not quite on the bag. And with all of that, here's Clint. Popped up under the field fly rule in the second inning. And the pitch in for a strike. We mentioned the fact that Clint Barmes had a home run against Kershaw, and we weren't being sarcastic when we said it was probably when he played in Colorado. So they looked it up, and Barnes' home run against Kershaw came at Coors Field, April 26, 2009. 1-1. Ball 2. Clint Barmes out of Vincennes, Indiana, went to Indiana State University. Always wanted to be a ball player since he was at least 6 or 7. Clint, when he came up to the Rockies, was the shortstop. I mean, he looked like somebody who was going to be there for a long time. Hit .400 the first April. Ground ball to the hole. Nice stop by Sellers. Too late. So Justin Sellers trying to return the favor to Barmes. Barmes was able to get Barajas. Sellers couldn't quite make the play on Barmes. The Clint single to the hole at short. Justin making a very good play. Just not in time. Hit number 3 off Kershaw. That close. First base umpire Mike Estabrook right on the money on those very tough calls. Foul ball. Carlos Corporon. 0-1 the count. Corcoran grounded out in the second inning, hitting just 192. One ball and one strike. Corcoran checking with Dave Clark. One ball, one strike. Hard ground ball, just foul down the line. For Barmes at first base, he has stolen just one base. Corcoran has had a few hits batting right-handed. So Clint back to first. We're in the fifth inning, 2-0 Dodgers. First inning home run by Matt Kemp with a man aboard. Corcoran again checking with Dave Clark. Dave, a former Golden Glover and a good one. Clark, the third base coach, when he was a Golden Glover, he had a record of 26-0 and 13 knockouts in amateur boxing. Remember, in the amateurs, they wear the protective headgear, and he was still lights out. Thought he'd be a strong candidate for the Olympic team. 1980, you remember the U.S. boycotted the games played in Moscow. Well, that'll do it for Corcoran. One out. Wandy Rodriguez coming up, and we can give you the answer to the question we just offered a little while ago. Clayton Kershaw leads the National League in strikeouts. Who are the only 3 National League strikeout champs in Astros history? Well, you had to guess one of them, Nolan Ryan. You may remember big J.R. Richard and Mike Scott, who had that tremendous splitter back in 1986. So here's Wandy showing bunt, and bunts it foul. You know, talking about strikeouts, aside from Sandy Koufax, the last 2 Dodger pitchers to win the National League strikeout title, Hideo Nomo in 1995 and Fernando Valenzuela in 1981. But of course, when you want to talk about strikeouts and Sandy, remember, he did it 4 times in the 1960s. Oh, and 1 to Wandy. And he's swinging. 0 and 2. Rodriguez looking at Dave Clark, who comes halfway down the line to make sure Clint Barmes can see him, and now Dave goes back to the box. Well, Barmes off the bag, 0 and 2 to Wandy. He's showing bunt. Did he? No. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clint Barmes checking to make sure he knows that there's a play on. Wandy shows bunt. Kershaw has made 62 pitches so far. We're in the 5th inning with 1 out. And the bunt is down. Clayton's play is to first base. So Rodriguez does a good job getting the bunt down with 2 strikes. For Wandy, his 3rd sacrifice. Fellow who can get the bunt down, Bud Norris, has 11. So 2 out, A runner at second base in Barmes, and Jason Bourgeois coming up. Bourgeois grounded to second, struck out. 2-0 Dodgers, top of the fifth. And a meeting. Couple of things about Bourgeois. We have time. He has 18 infield hits. He has stolen third base 4 times. He likes to hit early in the count. He's a pretty good hitter with 2 outs as well. He's from Houston. His dad used to work the ticket booth at the old Astrodome, and he was a second team prep All-American and was recruited by Arizona State. There he goes after that first pitch. 0-1. He was signed by the Rangers, then was eventually winding up with the Brewers, and that's where the Astros claimed him. 0-1. And another strike. Jason is only 5'9". He's a very good bunter, but with 2 out and an 0-2 count, pretty well forget that. And pull foul, still 0-2. Earlier in May, Jason was on the DL. He had a strained left oblique suffered while swinging the bat. He had plasma replacement therapy injection, and it eventually worked, but he was still out for a month. 0-2. In the dirt. Sooner or later, Kershaw is going to let Barajas look like Swiss cheese. He's going to be knocking holes in him. Brad's done a great job. Mills playing sacrifice with Rodriguez, now relying on Bourgeois. Breaking ball fouled away. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the Astros. Matt Kemp hit his 27th in the first inning with a man aboard. Should not have even come up to the plate, except for the error by Carlos Lee, and that will haunt the big first baseman unless the Astros can come from behind. Still 1-2. That was a Kershaw fastball at 95, and Bourgeois still got a little bit of it. Bourgeois 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. He has only walked 4 times, so he's a very aggressive young hitter. Two and two. Waiting on deck, Jose Altuve, the little second baseman. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball right back at 95. So it's a pretty good at bat for Bourgeois. And he's still there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two out, runner at second, 2-0 Dodgers, top of the fifth. And down he goes, high fastball. Down he goes again. So that's 7 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. No runs, a hit, a man left. Still 2-0 Dodgers. Davis. Nice to have him here tonight. Taken in the ball game, Rookie of the Year. What did he do? Jump over a car and dunk a ball? Well, keep your eye out in the parking lot if he suddenly gets restless for something to do. Meanwhile, bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 Dodgers. Tony Gwynn, Justin Sellers, and Clayton Kershaw. Well, Kershaw, he was extended really for the first time tonight. That's a strike to Tony. Clayton made 22 pitches in the 5th inning. He made 9 to Bushwan. So he's up to 72 pitches. 0-1 to Tony. Tripled in the right field corner. Good curveball. 0-2. And a little breaking ball off the plate. Just kind of dropping the angle of the arm and moving it, tantalizing slowly and just off home plate. 1-2. Fastball, and Gwynn a little late, was almost past him, and he just did slap at it on the way by. So he's gotten a couple of good curve balls, one big slow roundhouse, and then the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 to Tony, hitting .253 off the plate. We talked about how the pitching coach encouraged Wandy Rodriguez to throw the change, and finally Pudge Rodriguez was the one who clinched the deal. Breaking ball missing, ball 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Gwynn, Sellers, and Kershaw. Dodgers lead. Unearned runs in the 1st inning. 2-out home run by Matt Kemp. Roundhouse curve, and this time Gwynn is on it. So that slow, almost side-on curveball hung over the plate. And Tony, with a base hit to right, is 2 for 2. You know, tomorrow at 1:10 the Astros are here, and the first 15,000 ticketed children 14 and under in attendance receive their own Dodger backpack, compliments of Sports Authority. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. So here's Justin Sellers. He walked in the 2nd inning. The first time he reached base in his young big league career. Ball 1. Sellers 3 fly balls last night, and then the walk tonight. Justin, playing at Albuquerque, had the 14 home runs 2 years out there. 1-0. Sellers, who went to Marina High. Justin, I'm sure, had a great turnout, relatives and friends last night, probably more tonight. There goes Gwynn. The throw is safe. A long look by Greg Gibson, the second base umpire. And Tony Gwynn just does get in there. He has now stolen 16 out of 19. Remember that one tip we mentioned, the fact that the league does run on Wandy, and sure enough, Gwynn steals it. Base stealers are now 17 out of 19 against Rodriguez. Big curveball in for a strike. It's always surprising. You can understand a right-hand batter with his back to the runner, and they take advantage of him. But it's always surprising to see the league running on a left-hander. Slow curve fought off, 2-2. One person in the Dodger dugout who can certainly relate to Wandy Rodriguez and his problems, Ted Lilly. Of course, Maury Wills often said it's a little easier to steal against a left-hander because you're looking at him. You're looking at his move. He can't hide anything. 2-2. And fouled away. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Astros. The Astro error, a big one by Carlos Lee. Instead of hanging the toss in front of Wandy coming over to cover the bag, he threw it behind him. Wandy tried to barehand it, but couldn't do it. That let Kemp come up, and Matt hit a 2-run home run. Ground ball to the hole. There it is, base hit. Here comes Gwynn to stop at third, and the throw goes through to the plate. So for Justin Sellers, with relatives and friends, I'm sure, in the ballpark, he comes up with his first major league hit. There was a question, is he going to have his first RBI? But because Martinez charged it in left field, Tim Wallach, with nobody out, wisely held Gwynn at third. But Justin will take it. They put it up on the board. First major league hit. Welcome to the big league. So he has a walk and a single. First and third, nobody out. And Clayton Kershaw coming up. So we'll see now if they ask Kershaw to bunt. In the second inning, tried to bunt, swung away, and grounded into his first double play of the year. Showing bunt. Ball 1. Not an intimidating pitch. It was 72 miles an hour. One ball and no strikes. Gwynn down the line from third. Sellers away from first. Infield up. And Paredes, the third baseman, well in on the grass. The bunt is down. Here comes the runner, Gwynn, and he's in there. No play at first, and the Dodgers squeeze in the run on a bunt that was right out in front of the plate. Boy, was that a dandy. Hard to believe that he got in there. Watch where that bunt goes. I mean, right there. And yet, Corporon can't make the play. So the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead. Gwynn coming in on a perfectly executed bunt. Although I think the Dodgers would have liked that bunt to get out on the grass. But Gwynn with his speed is coming, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. We were talking about the squeeze, if you were with us, in the second inning when Gwynn was at third. Sellers was at the plate, and then Kershaw was at the plate, but they didn't put it on, and it works this time. So Sellers scoring. He goes to second. Gwynn comes in. Kershaw is at first, nobody out, and everything is going the Dodgers' way, leading 3-0. Kershaw, by the way, gets a run batted in. His fourth. 2 on, nobody out. 3-0 Dodgers. We're in the 5th inning, and Jamie Carroll up there, 1 ball and no strikes. For Kershaw, it will be ruled a sacrifice and a fielder's choice, and a run batted in. Ball 2. So the Dodgers kind of taking the wallet right out of Wandy Rodriguez's hip pocket. The error in the first inning followed by the home run. Now Gwynn a single, a steal at second, Sellers base hit, the squeeze by Kershaw. Now the bunt by Carroll. Paredes makes the play high. Everybody safe. For Brad Mills, he started the year with light hair, and it will just get whiter. For the Houston Astros, It's a question not of how many games they will win. It's a question of how many games will they lose. And whenever there's a tough play, because they are young, inexperienced, they fail to make the play. The Paredes throw pulls Lee off the bag. Carroll's safe. Wandy Rodriguez, I'm sure, is almost ready to go back to the barber shop and do some cutting, although not necessarily with a pair of shears. So Doug Brocail out to try and calm him down. Anyway, the question with Houston is how many games will they lose? They figure to lose 100 for sure, which would be the first time an Astro team lost 100 games in the franchise history of 50 years. Well, for Brad Mills, a brutal time. Infield has to play up. Big curveball for a strike. Carroll reaches on the error charge to Jimmy Paredes for throwing the ball high. Casey Blake popped up a bunt, hit into a double play. 0-1. And he probably bangs it to right field. Nice catch by Jason Michaels. Tagging to score, however, would be Justin Sellers, and the Dodger lead 4-0. Sellers getting a hero's welcome in the dugout. All the boys know what it's like to get your first knock. Vibes all around. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the Astros. Justin Sellers scoring 2 runs in the inning now. Wandy working on Andre Ethier. We have Kershaw at second, Carroll at first. Ball 1. Ethier hit into a force play, grounded out, 0 for 2. Andre, as you know, struggling against left-handers this year, and that's a strike. Ethier hitting .240 against left-handers, .330 against right-handers. 1-1. Fastball gets away from Corporon, and the runners move up. So a disheartened Wandy Rodriguez has one getaway, and the runners move into scoring position. Just seemed to get away, pass ball. So it's the old story. We have met the enemy, and they are us. Ethier now with the infield up, 1 out. First base open. On the outside corner, 2-2. It all started with a base hit to right field by Tony Gwynn, who stole second. Sellers singled Tony to third. Kershaw squeezed in Gwynn. Carroll reached sacrifice error, and then the fly ball for the second run off the plate. The Wandy either gets it over to Andre Ethier, or should he walk him, he'll get Matt Kemp with the bases loaded. Ground ball, backhanded at second by Altuve to make the play, and the runners have to hold. So now they have a place to put Kemp if they want. And we'll watch Brad Mills. Yep, 4. Put him on. Well, Matt Kemp will take the intentional walk. And in a minute, Rivera will be coming up with the bases loaded. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Astros. Matt doesn't know it, but there's no reason to dig in. None whatsoever. Now he's going to get the news. No way they were going to pitch to him. So in a moment, Juan Rivera will be coming up. Rivera has grounded to third and struck out tonight. Two more to go. Rivera in a moment will be the 8th man to come to the plate. Dodgers scored 2 in the first. Matt Kemp's 2-run home run following the error by Carlos Lee. And now the Dodgers come right back in the 5th inning and pick up 2 more. And Juan Rivera coming to the plate. Rivera coming into the game was 1 for 3 with a home run against Rodriguez. He has 3 grand slams. He had 1 against the Dodgers, 1 against the White Sox, and 1 against Seattle. So bases loaded, 2 out, 4-0 Dodgers. Ball 1. Tomorrow, Jordan Lyles and Hiroki Kuroda. Drops that curveball in there, 1-1. Wilton Lopez is in the bullpen, though it's up to Wandy to get Rivera, or it looks like he'd be coming out of the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. And another curveball, and that just got away. No, foul ball. Look at Wandy. He thought it got away, so he was going to cover the plate. 1-2. To add to all of Wandy Rodriguez's problems, this pitch that he's going to make to Juan Rivera will be his 34th pitch in the game, which would get him to 93 pitches in 5 innings. One ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball, 2-2. Remember, this is a bad night for Wandy at Dodger Stadium. In his career, his earned run average here, 1.1. Last time he pitched here, he shut out the Dodgers. So deuces are wild indeed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 in, 4-0 Dodgers. Two and 2. Breaking ball hit to third, take it to the bag, does Paredes, and that's it. However, not before the Dodgers get 2 on a couple of hits, lead 3, and at the end of 5, 4-0 Dodgers. ballpark and come home and say I saw a great game or a memorable game. On this day in 1951, I heard a memorable game. What it was a promotion at Ebbets Field called Music Depreciation Night. And what they did, they said, if you bring a musical instrument, you can come on in free. Over 2,000 people brought harmonicas, violins, saxophones, you name it, and they were allowed in. And would you believe, one fella pulled up, probably just tongue-in-cheek, he had a flat van and a piano on it, and he pulled right up to the gate. And the wise man at the gate said, buddy, if you can get it in, you can go to your seat. Well, he just drove off. Music Depreciation Night, 1951. Dodgers wound up hitting a sour note that year. That was the year of the famous Bobby Thompson home run that provided sweet music for the Giant fan. Let's go back to this one. Well, Wandy Rodriguez and the Astros are certainly not hearing the beautiful music, not yet. It's 4-0 Dodgers, 6th inning. Jose Altuve to lead it off, and a strike. Second baseman grounded to short and doubled. His double was the fly ball Matt Kemp lost when he thought he picked it up. It was 20 feet behind him and bounced up into the stands. 0-2 to Jose. Naturally, he is considered an underdog in this game of big men, and in Houston, he's already has a cult following. In the dirt, and Barajas tags him out. So Altuve, interesting. A little guy, you'd expect him to walk once in a while, but that's the opposite. On the road, he's had 60 some odd at bats, no walks. At home, he's had 27 at bats, he's gotten 2 walks. 8 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. Here's Martinez, fly deep to center, fly to center. 0 for 2. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Astros. And a pop fly. This time it'll be Jamie Carroll. Two out, 6th inning, and Carlos Lee, the batter. Carlos Lee struck out, flied to left. 0 for 2. Lee against Kershaw, 4 for 12 with 1 home run. Fastball missed. Remember now, Kershaw came in here 8-1 at Dodger Stadium, and he's won 7 straight, trying for his 14th win. Good fastball. 93. Another one. Same speed, same spot. 1-2 to Carlos Lee. That's foul tipped into the dirt, so he's still there. 1-2 the count. Paredes in the 2nd inning broke his bat, hit a little dribbler off Kershaw's glove, and he legged it out for a base hit. Altuve in the 3rd inning hit the fly ball that Matt Kemp lost. And that's it. In the dirt. There was also the single by Clint Barnes. A great effort by Justin Sellers. Almost got him. So there really hasn't been any attack by the Astros so far. Fastball, 94 that time, so he's moved it up a notch. His pitch count, 83. Two and two. Long look. And ball three. Lee, the one big stick in the lineup. And he walks. For Kershaw, it's been pretty much of a breeze. That's his first walk to go with 8 strikeouts. Jimmy Paredes, the young third baseman, had the infield single, broke his bat in the second inning, struck out in the fourth, and you can see Clayton now has made 85 pitches. A little breaking ball for a strike just for starters. Paredes originally signed by the Yankees 5 years ago. Never made it to New York. Wow. As hard as he can swing, and that fastball with 94. 0-2 the count. 22. He'll be 23, 25th of November. Ball one. Paredes as a switch hitter has been pretty consistent, but then again, he's only been in 10 games. Hitting .273 right, .276 left. 6'1", 185. Lee at first not going anywhere. Very short lead. And a ground ball into the hole. Carroll makes the pick but throws late. So it's an infield single for Paredes. And with 2 out, the Astros have runners at first and second, and Jason Michaels coming up. I always wonder, and I realize this is after the fact, and we're just sitting here chatting. Rivera's playing first base, and Carlos Lee is the runner. Carlos Lee has stolen 3, and he's been caught twice. So you have 2 out. You're down 4-0. You figure, why are you even holding Carlos Lee on the bag? But they always do. You'd almost invite Carlos Lee to run. But they had Rivera holding, and what would probably have been fielded is a ground ball base hit into right field. So with 2 out, 2 on, and here's Jason Michaels, struck out twice. Veteran hitting .205. He does have 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. And a little flare, foul, caught by Rivera. Well, no runs, a walk and a hit, head shaking for Kershaw, and at the end at 5.5, 4-0 Dodgers. Watch Tony Gwynn. He's coming with the third baseman. He was halfway down the line before the bunt was made, and he's able to avoid the tag by Corporon on a ball that was bunted no more than 3 feet in front of home plate. So Kershaw struggling enough to shake his head coming off the mound in the 6th inning. He made 18 pitches, so he's now made 90, but he's pretty much breezing. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And really, there's not been a hard hit ball hit by the Astros through 6 innings. The double was a fly ball lost by Matt Kemp. Barajas fouling off the first one. 0-1. This will probably be Wandy Rodriguez's last inning. He's due to bat third in the 7th. Change missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wandy has made 96 pitches and a fly ball to right field. Jason Michaels is there. I'll tell you one thing, if you made a close study of Rod Barajas, it would be rare to see him hit a ground ball. He is one of the top fly ball hitters in the game. So 1 away, and Tony Gwynn coming up. Tripled in the 2nd inning, and they left him, and then scored on the late squeeze. Normally, the runner at third, as soon as the pitcher releases the ball, he takes off. But he was walking down the line with Jimmy Paredes, the third baseman, so he didn't have to worry if the bunt was missed or whatever. There wouldn't be anybody to cover on his retreat to the bag. And then as he walked in with Paredes, even though the bunt was just out in front of the plate, he was still able to beat the tag and avoid it. 1-1. Just watch him earlier. See him with the third baseman. He's not coming. Now he does, but only after the bunt is on the ground. Almost every squeeze play begins with the runner breaking to the plate. Meanwhile, everything Tony does comes up smelling like a rose. He is 3 for 3 now. Tripled, singled, and singles to left. And the batter will be Justin Sellers, who has walked and singled. So Wandy has given up 4 runs and 6 hits. He made 100 pitches, and he knows he's done. He's due to bat third when the Astros come up in the 7th inning. And a strike. Remember, we told you that they run on Wandy. Tony Gwynn stole second in the 5th inning. They've stolen 17 against him. The only left-handed to allow more stolen bases would be Ted Lilly, who's allowed 25. Wandy is 17 out of 19. Lilly 25 of 27. Nathan Eovaldi alongside of the veteran Lilly. So let's see if Tony's going to try to steal again. I've mentioned it before. There was a pitcher many years ago on a National League Championship Philadelphia club, Kurt Simmons. You talk about a left-hander not having a move to first. Kurt really didn't have any move to first. 0-1. That's the thing that Maury Wills talked about. You are looking at the left-hander, and you can take that move apart. There's something he does differently when he's going to first that tips it off. Could be the left foot on the rubber. It could be a lot of things. On this level, it's really sophisticated. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sellers hitting .250. He has walked and singled. He is 1 for 4 in the big leagues. once burned. Wandy's trying to avoid it again. Fouled away. 1-2 the count. The Astros are playing their 120th game, so that leaves 42 left. They don't figure to be capable of playing 500 ball. So with 42 left, you figure they're going to lose at least 21 more. That's going way upstairs. Foul by Klein. If they lose 21 of the remaining 42, they would wind up having lost 112. Of course, the New York Mets, when they started in 1962, lost 120. This is a ball club in the state of flux, waiting on a new ownership to be approved. One out, Gwynn at first. Dodgers lead 4-0, bottom of the sixth. Sellers followed by Kershaw. There he goes on a slow ground ball to short. The Gwynn moves up a notch on the ground ball. 2 down. And Clayton Kershaw coming up. You know, you can follow the Dodgers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a lot more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Kershaw hit into a double play on the squeeze. Sacrifice fielder's choice. There goes Gwynn to third. The throw to third is in left field. And here comes Tony to make it 5-0. The Gwynn steals third. Corcoran throws it into left field for the error. Well, you know what? Maybe they will lose more than 21 games. I mean, it is a young ball club, and they just make a lot of mistakes. Five runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for the Astros. You know, you're watching, really, this is no knock, but without Hunter Pence and Michael Bourne, you realize how much of a struggle it is for the Houston players, and in particular, their pitchers. Little ground ball. It will be Barmes to make the play, and that'll be that. Probably that'll be that for Wandy Rodriguez as well. The Dodgers get 1, and at the end of 6, lead 5-0. Dodgers leading 5-0. If you've been watching the game, you realize that Clayton Kershaw has had a much easier time to pitching to some of the youngsters on the Astro club, some of whom just came up from Single A. For Rodriguez, it's been a battle, and he'd be pitching much better except for the Astros' 3 errors. So Wandy figures to go out for a pinch hitter. Clayton is ready to go to work. It is 5-0 Dodgers, and the Astros are going to have to do something or lose their 82nd game this year. By the way, remember last night, CC Sabathia, Carlos Zambrano both allowed 5 home runs? Well, move over. Tim Stauffer of the Padres in Cincinnati. The Reds won 13-1, and the Reds hit a total of 7 home runs. That's a strike. One other thing, in case you missed it, Dan Uggla not only got a first inning single to extend his hitting streak to 33 straight, Uggla also hit his 14th home run. The 33-game streak ties him with another second baseman, one of the greatest hitters to ever play the game. Fly ball to right field. Ethier is there. If you have never heard of the name Rogers Hornsby, and that's whom he just tied tonight, let me tell you a little bit about Hornsby and what he did over 5 years. In 1921, Roger hit .397. In 1922, he hit .401. In 1923, he hit .384. Comebacker. 2 out. In 1924, the great Hornsby hit .424. And in 1925, for good measure, he hit .403. His average over that 5-year span was .402. Angel Sanchez will now come up and bat for the beaten up Wandy Rodriguez. So Rodriguez coming out pitched a lot better than the 5-0 score would indicate. And here is Angel hitting .251, 1 home run, 25 runs batted in. He's from Puerto Rico. Basically a shortstop, but Clint Barmas is playing. And a one-hopper right at Jamie Carroll. And another nice easy inning for Kershaw. So at the end of 6 1/2, 5-0 Dodgers. 5-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And a new pitcher, Del Fulcino, coming in. Jeff is from Titusville in Florida. Big fella, 6'5", 250. He was originally drafted by the Marlins out of the University of Connecticut. He was the Astros Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. So Fulcino has been playing since, well, 2004. Basically fastball slider. Last year, left-handers hit 257. Right-handers wore him out. They hit 292. He's had tendonitis in the right elbow last year. That slowed him down. And that's a strike to Carroll. Jamie, as usual, takes the first pitch. Tonight, he is 1 for 3. He's reached on 2 errors, and he's hitting 297. 0-2. So Wandy Rodriguez relieved by Jeff Fulcino. 0-2. In the dirt. Jamie reached on the error by Carlos Lee. That gave the Dodgers the extra at bat, and Matt Kemp homered in the first inning. Wanted to swing, held up, 2-2. Single to left, and then reached on the error by Paredes. Fulcino last year had arthroscopic surgery on his right elbow to take care of a couple of bone spurs. He was on the DL from near the end of June to August. On the inside corner, strike 3 called. So Carroll goes down, 1 away, and the batter Casey Blake. A reminder, Fox Sports Game Connect, that's the ultimate online experience. Log on to take part, the most interactive forum during Dodger games. Stats, trends, live Twitter. Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on foxsportswest.com. 0-1 to Casey Blake. So Fulcino battling his way back. 0-1. For Wandy Rodriguez, he goes out losing 5-0, but 3 of the 5 runs were unearned. With any kind of defense, he's very much in the game. He would have allowed just 2 runs. Remember, when Wandy came into this game tonight, his earned run average was 1.1 here. But Carlos Lee started a bad night for Rodriguez when he just flipped the ball behind him. That would have ended the inning. Instead, it extended it, and boom, Kemp's home run. Meanwhile, 2-2 the count to Casey Blake. Fouled away. Not much going on here for the minute, so while we're watching, just want to give you a footnote on what's going on with Dan Uggla. We mentioned he has a 33-game hitting streak, but he also has hit 27 home runs. He's 1 behind Berkman and Pujols, and that makes him very, very special. All 3. Of all the hitting streaks of at least 32 games, and there have been 23 of those, only 4 were accomplished by a hitter who had hit at least 25 home runs that year. Only 4. And that's going to be a base hit. Who are the 4? Well, the amazing Rogers Hornsby in 1922. The great Joe DiMaggio in 1941. The little-known Tommy Holmes, who did it in 1945. And tonight, Dan Uggla. A 33-game hitting streak, and you have 27 home runs. Now, here's Andre. He had that 30-game hitting streak, but he has 10 home runs. Huge difference. Nice save by Corporon. Ball one. One ball and no strikes. 1-1. Andre right at the 300 line with his 10 home runs, 51 runs batted in. First inning hit into a force play. Third inning grounded to second. Fifth inning grounded to second. One and one. Ball two. Fulcino will be 32 the 26th of November. Foul back. He pitched in Albuquerque for a couple of years, then made it to the Marlins, went back down, came up to the Royals, then over to the Astros. 2-2. Fulcino with a record of 1-4 and an ERA a little over 5. Three and two. Fulcino has walked 17 and struck out 27. Blake goes, and there's a little flare that will drop into right field. Well, Casey arrives at third easily on a bloop single by Andre Ethier, so he goes 1 for 4 to stay perhaps above 300. And Matt Kemp will be coming up. Kemp came up in the very first inning, given the break by the error for the Dodgers to have the extra at bat, and he was all over a pitch. Hit it into the pavilion, and just like that, the Dodgers led 2-0, and they just added to that to lead 5-0. For Matt, 27 home runs, 88 runs batted in, and hitting .319. So a strikeout and 2 singles. Matt Kemp, besides the home run, struck out and was walked intentionally. So with 27 home runs, he has the same number as Dan Uggla, putting him behind Berkman and Pujols. Ball one. Bottom of the 7th, 5 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 4 hits for the Astros. Casey Blake down the line from third. Andre Ethier at first, 1 out. Ball 2. Fulcino has allowed 5 home runs in 31 innings. Two and 0. And a strike. That little flare to right field for a base hit for Ethier gets him up to 302. Last night, the little flare by Matt Kemp won the ball game. 2-1. 2-2. Carroll struck out. Blake singled to center. Ethier, little pop fly single. Here's Kemp with Rivera on deck. 2-2. Ball 3. Well, Blake was going on a 3-2 pitch to Ethier. Carlos Lee is off the bag, but they tell him to get back on. Three and two to Kemp. Ethier does not go, and Kemp does. Back to the bench. 2 out. So that will bring up Juan Rivera with runners at first and third. 2 out. Dodgers still holding on. 5-0. Juan Rivera grounded to third, struck out, hit into a force play, hitting .321. Little slider for a strike. 0-1. And that's probably banged into center. Blake will score. Ethier stops at second, and the Dodgers lead 6-0. So Fulchino is not the answer. He gives up 3 hits and a run. And the batter will be Rod Barajas. Rod Barajas struck out, lost a hit on a wonderful play by Clint Barmas back in the 4th inning, and flied to right in the 6th. So wouldn't you know, one of the few times he hits the ball on the ground, an infielder makes a great play. Rod is hitting .220, 10 home runs, 28 runs batted in. It has not been easy for him catching Clayton Kershaw tonight. Not just that Kershaw has struck out 8, but he's been throwing hard, sometimes in the dirt, breaking curveballs in the dirt, and Barajas has been like a goalie on a poor hockey team. He's been all over the place, and now up there asked to hit. 0 for 3. Slider on the corner. 2-1. From the Nutmeg State, Connecticut, Jeff Fulchino. 2 on, 2 out, 1 in, 6-0 Dodgers. Off the plate. On deck, Tony Gwynn having a big night. Tony has tripled, singled, stole a base. Single, stole another base, scored twice. And the fastball is ball 4 to load him up. So Doug Brocail, the pitching coach, halfway up the stairs. Brad Mills walked over towards the phone. Doug Brocail, who certainly pitched for quite a while in the big leagues, was a first-round pick by the Padres, came up to the Padres in '92, and actually pitched professionally from '89 through 2009. He had 21 years of pitching, naturally not all in the big leagues. Born in Pennsylvania, he lives in Missouri City, Texas. 44 years old. Wilton Lopez, the right-hander, is up again. So here's Tony enjoying a big night and trying to make it a huge night. Ball 1. Andre Ethier is at third. Juan Rivera is at second. Rod Barajas is at first. A strike. 1-1. In case you're wondering, Tony still looking for his first grand slam. 1 ball and 1 strike, average up to 259. And a high but very playable fly ball. And Bourgeois makes the catch, and that's it. So the Dodgers get 1, lead 3. And at the end it's 7, Dodgers 6, Astros nothing. As we move to the 8th inning, James Loney will take over at first base for Juan Rivera. That would be apparently the only change. Clayton Kershaw, well, let's face it, it's really been a walk in the park. The Astros have not come up with any kind of a real threat or rally against him. They did have a walk and a single with 2 out in the 6th inning. And because of a strikeout pass ball and a broken back single, you could call it a little bit of a problem in the 2nd inning, but it's really been a cakewalk so far anyway. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 4 hits, and 3 big errors for the Astros. So here's Jason Bourgeois, 0 for 3, struck out twice. And pops it up. Carroll going out. Ethier coming in. It will be whom? Neither. So Bourgeois, pop fly single to right field. That would be hit number 5 for the Astros. Carroll looking for Ethier. Andres coming, but no play. Josh Lindboom has been throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Kershaw is now at 97 pitches. Fouled away. Jose Altuve, all of 5'6", grounded to short, doubled and struck out. Hitting .341 with 5 runs batted in. Bourgeois over there at first base runs very well. He has stolen 22 out of 28, but the team is down 6-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2. 100 pitches now. 8 strikeouts later. And lifted to the left side to Blake. Foul ground. So Altuve pops foul, and that'll bring up J.D. Martinez.
Number 14, J.D. Martinez.
Martinez has had a couple of pretty good swings tonight against Kershaw. In the first inning, he sent Kemp all the way to the center field wall to catch his long out. In the third inning, he flied to Kemp, but then the last time he popped up. Hitting .235, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Fouled away. The paid attendance tonight, 36,111. 36,111. About 3,000 more than last night. No balls, 1 strike. 0-2. Kershaw trying to get through the 8th, leading 6-0. Martinez will have a birthday a week from tomorrow. He'll be 24. Line drive, fair ball down in the corner. Bourgeois flying around. He will score. Into second base goes Martinez. And it is 6-1 in favor of the Dodgers. J.D. Martinez would appear to be the one guy who's had some pretty good swings tonight. And he doubles in Bourgeois.
Coming to the plate, first baseman
Martinez, remember, has only played a couple of games. 14 games. Looks like a pretty good player. And they signed him only 2 years ago. Now, here's the proven major leaguer, Carlos Lee. 11 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Ball 1. That fastball at 95, so Clayton is still throwing hard. He has only walked Carlos Lee, and that was in the 6th inning. 1-0. And foul back. Another good fastball at 94. So he's now made 106 pitches. He's coming off a game in Arizona where he lost. He went 6 1/3 and gave up 113 pitches. At 125 to go 6 2/3 and beat Colorado. It's a lot of pitches for 6 2/3. 1-1. Lee has a home run against Kershaw in the past. Check swing, and that 94-mile-an-hour fastball really knocked him back. At second base, J.D. Martinez just knocked in the run. Did he? Yes, he did. So Carlos Lee trying to hold up on an angry curveball, and down he goes. He went from a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to an 83-mile-an-hour curveball, and that's the second out. It is also the 9th strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw in his career, a high of 13. He's had 12 against the Giants near the end of July. Boy, Paredes swinging from the heels. He had a broken bat single, struck out, single to right, 2 for 3. That's what they say. He's really just starting. He's pretty impatient. And he's gone after a couple of bad balls, and he's in a hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. Jimmy Paredes. Wouldn't bite that time. 1-2 the count. Kershaw now 111 pitches, 9 strikeouts, and he's allowed 1 run and 6 hits. He's due to bat second in the 8th, so this might be his last inning. Breaking ball, dribbler. They'll let it roll, and here comes the runner into the tag. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, you watch the Houston Astros, they take your breath away. I don't know what happens to Brad Mills. Whoa. Very embarrassing. And at the end of 7.5, I mean, it's going to be a base hit, except here comes the runner. And it's 6-1 Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw. I would think Clayton is done. He's made 112 pitches. He made 16 pitches in the 8th inning. Got a huge break when J.D. Martinez ran into a tag on what otherwise would have been a base hit. So for the Astros, there you can see Brad Mills very patiently talking to Martinez. All right, son, you made a mistake. Here's what you have to do. And you need a manager like that with the patience that Brad Mills has. I mean, you can't explode with young players. They're just gonna make mistakes. It's really like being the father of some young children. Gotta happen. Brad, who at one time was an All-American at Arizona State, he roomed with Terry Francona and coached under Terry with the Red Sox. So he learned a lot about it, and still calmly talking to his young outfielder. And of course, no matter what you say, when you've done something wrong, he's got to be dying inside. Meanwhile, Wilton Lopez will pick up with a record of 2-5 from Nicaragua. 1-2. Wilton Lopez originally signed by the Yankees. Pitched sparingly, then they released him. Didn't play for a couple of years. Then he signed with the Padres, and he was claimed off waivers by the Astros. 2-2. Basically, fastball, slider, and a changeup. Two and two. Lopez, 28 years old, from Leon in Nicaragua. And good pitch to take care of his hitter, Justin Sellers. For Brad Mills, he's moved his players around a lot. We will give you them as they come up. Here now is Trent Olson, who will have an at-bat for Clayton Kershaw. Down in the pen, Scott Elbert warming up. So Clayton, 112 pitches, 1 earned run, struck out 9. Of course, it's never a walk in the park pitching against big league hitters, but it was a relatively easy night for Clayton Kershaw against this youthful Astro team. That'll do it for Trent, though he doesn't hang around. And we have 2 out. Jamie Carroll has 1 hit in 4 at-bats. Jamie reached on the error by Carlos Lee, single to left, reached on the error by Jimmy Paredes, and struck out. Ball 1. Lopez has been on the DL this year. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, so he's healthy. He was on the DL with irritation in the ulnar nerve in his right elbow. That's an occupational hazard. You can't throw 94 if you're hurting, so obviously he's okay. Jordan Lyles and Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow, 1 o'clock, right here on Prime, and then the Dodgers hit the road. Ball 2. Two and 1 the count. In there, 2-2. Lopez, an even 6-footer, checks in at 200 pounds. Just turned 28. Fastball, a high hopper. Here comes Barmes and makes a good play. So Clint comes up with a couple of dandies at shortstop tonight. Dodgers go down in order, and that's a little rare. And we're heading for the 9th, 6-1 Dodgers. ninth inning, and they take the ball from Clayton Kershaw and give it to Scott Elbert. And the left-hander, who just seems to get better each time going out there, in his 29th game, he has walked 8, he has struck out 21. If Elbert holds on to this 5-run lead, it would make Clayton Kershaw 14-5. He would then be 9-1 at home with an ERA of 1.8, and he would have won 8 straight at home. It is indeed home sweet home for Clayton Kershaw. However, the Dodgers need 3 outs before they can help celebrate with Clayton. Jason Michaels, who started the game in right field, finishing up in left. Michaels has struck out twice, fouled out, 0 for 3. Trying to stay above 200. Ball 2. Dodgers scored 2 in the first, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the fifth. 6 runs, 9 hits, and the Astros 1 run, 6 hits. Ground ball to third. Blake short hops, double clutches, and gets him anyway. Nice play by Casey. 1 down in the 9th. Clint Barmas popped up under the infield fly rule, single to the hole at short, despite a great effort by Justin Sellers. And then last time up, Clint flied to right. Carlos Corporon, the catcher, 0 for 3 on deck. Ball 1. Scott Elbert hasn't allowed a run over his last 9 appearances. That goes back to the 6th of July. Over that stretch, opponents are hitting 167. Jammed him. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 the count. Dodgers 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Astros 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors. 1-2. Final game of the series, last meeting of the year. That'll be tomorrow at 1. Jordan Lyles and Hiroki Kuroda. Jordan Lyles out of Hartsville, South Carolina, and a number 1 pick by the Astros in 2008. And a high fly ball playable. Matt Kemp in charge out there. So the Astros are down to their last out, and it'll be their catcher, Carlos Corporon, who is 0 for 3. So again, a reminder, the last game of the homestand tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Jordan Lyles and Hiroki Kuroda. Dodgers then go out for a 4-game series in Milwaukee. Next weekend in Colorado, then St. Louis, and then home. And when they come home, it'll be Colorado and San Diego for the next homestand. And by then, we will have run out of August. Dodgers winning tonight will have won 3 out of 5 from the Astros, with 1 more tomorrow. 0-1 to Corporon. Scott Elbert trying to finish it off for Clayton Kershaw. 1-1. Ground ball, Sellers. Nice big hop. Throw to Loney. That's that. Six, 9-1 for the Dodgers. 1-6-3 for Kershaw. Matt Kemp hits his 27th home run of the year. Clayton Kershaw is now 14-5, 9-1 at home, and he's won 8 straight here. For Scott Elbert, he came in, made 10 pitches, and that was that for this youthful, although mistake-prone Houston Astro Ball Club. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.